We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
I did. Oh, wow. Right on the tip. Just on the tip.
And Blab. Co-hosted by our friends from around the internet.
There is a portion of Norway where it is legally required to carry a firearm at all times.
If you're just a normal man looking for common sense in this crazy-ass world, you've come to the right place. And now, broadcasting from our homes from around the internet, it's time for Side Scrollers. Oh, welcome out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com, and of course, most importantly, SideScrollersPlus.com. What's going on, everybody? Hey, happy Wednesday to you. It's Hump Day 9. I'm Stuttering Craig. Good to see you guys. Hope you're having a great day. Nice little Wednesday hanging out here. We're going to have a good one today. Hello, Blabs.
Hello! I'm not muted. I had to check for a second there. I was like, oh shit, am I muted again? But I'm not. Hello, everybody. It's Wednesday.
Great. You're fine. You sound good.
Hello.
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 By the way, I do have Plus squared away.
Okay.
So
I'm like, I can't ever fix it every time you make a post. I don't know why.
We good.
Yeah. Hello, Plus people.
Hello, everybody over
you
on
no longer have to hold.
Big day tomorrow over on Plus as we're rolling some stuff out. Looking forward to that. But first and foremost, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Hello, friend from the other side of the world, Arch.
You know, I only recently figured out what Hump Day was. I just thought that was a day where Americans would ritualistically hump things for a while.
There is a strong part of that where there is a lot of humping that happens. Yes, Arch, that is correct. Thank you for letting people know. As a matter of fact, Tom Green. Do you know who Tom Green is?
No.
Blabs, do you know who Tom Green is?
Should I?
Oh, no. All right, Tom Green is a I expect nothing but this from you. Blabs, you should have an idea who Tom Green is. But yesterday we talked about Jackass. Today we need to talk about Tom Green and all the things that he has going on over there. So Tom Green is, let me see if I can pull up video of this. Good golly. He was and is probably like the forefather of internet streaming. He was on MTV, but before he was on MTV, he was really famous in Canada for having this like homegrown show on cable access. And he's kind of like a shock jock, right? Anyways, yes, Arch, to bring this all the way back to humping on Wednesday, Tom Green would know a lot about humping. As a matter of fact, here he is humping a dead moose, a very famous scene from Tom Green.
Maybe we can revive. Come on, here. We gotta go. I'm gonna hump it like this, and you give it mouth to mouth. Okay? Come on, you guys. We can help it. Guys, come back. We can revive.
This is disturbing. That's so disturbing. He's like just mounting a corpse.
It's okay, Blabs. It's okay.
It's disturbing.
It reminds me of a previous bygone era, though, because back in the day, the internet was largely about like crazy stuff, like very sweary, like jokey songs and humor and stuff. That's basically just eradicated now because you'd get demonetized so hard your internet would disappear.
That is correct, friend. You are 100% correct. The things that were done in the late 90s, early 2000s on network TV would get you banned on YouTube.
Oh yes.
1000%. But yes, it is Hump Day, Arch, and you, friend, can go out and celebrate by humping a dead moose if you like. But we will not be doing that today.
You could, but it'd be a risky sport. Mooses are remarkably cuntish creatures, like aggressive little shits.
Oh.
Terrible.
Noted. Sounds good. Well, if you guys have any intentions of going out and humping a dead moose, please let us know. By the way, Tom Green, that's a guy I would love to have on our show. Still active, still doing some great work. He just had a documentary come out about him and stuff. He's making the rounds. So yeah, anyways. Well, we got a big show for you guys lined up. We're going to get into all the insanity that happened over on X yesterday between Assassin's Creed and Grummz and Elon Musk and Hasan Piker and all that nonsense. It was honestly so crazy to watch. Super viral moment. Did you catch any of that yesterday, Arch?
No. I did see that Ubisoft had probably fibbed their sales numbers a little bit because PC Gamer kind of revealed them, but that was all I noticed.
What'd you see about their? I know they have the player numbers. They haven't released any numbers though. I saw your latest. I got about halfway through your latest video.
PC Gamer claimed that 27% of activations were on PC.
Right.
And since they peaked out at like 64,000 concurrents, if we double triple that, we're still way away from their so-called 2 million players. So they've been doing some creative accounting, I suspect.
As one would expect in this kind of situation. They've also been doing some creative tweeting as well, which we'll talk about as throughout the day. Game Informer is back. We'll talk about that as well. I know that probably doesn't really mean a whole lot to you, Arch, because I think it's primarily an American-based publication, but we'll get into that a little bit there. We got some news on James Bond. We got a Pac-Man anniversary, and we have the newest game that is going to be sweeping across the internet very, very soon. A preview for you guys coming up in just a little bit. And the rumors were true. That's all I'm going to say. Stick around for that. But first, I'd like to let you know that today's episode is brought to you by you and us over at Side Scrollers Plus. You guys can head over there because tomorrow at 2 o'clock after the show, 2 o'clock Central Time, we'll be debuting episode 1 of Nerd Duel. The first official episode that what we posted over there before was just like tests. But I'll tell you what, man, we shot 2 episodes yesterday and they were fucking phenomenal. So the first episode goes live tomorrow exclusively over on Plus. It'll be going live over on YouTube next week. We would very much like to encourage you guys to head over to Plus. In fact, here is the screenshot, the thumbnail that you'll see tomorrow for it. It features Smash JT, Lady Des, and Eric from Yumi in the Movies, who's probably in the chat right now. And for you to, if you are on the fence about supporting us over on Plus, we'd like to offer you the opportunity to try it out for free. So we're going to give you guys a free month if you go over there and use promo code DUEL over at sidescrollersplus.com. Use promo code DUEL and you'll be able to watch the first episode for free. So head over there and check out the first episode of Nerd Duel tomorrow, featuring Smash JT, Lady Des, and Eric from Yumi in the Movies. So it's really, really good start. Looking forward to that. And I said this before the show. If people enjoy watching it as much as I enjoy being a part of that show, then that show is going to be a fucking banger. It's really, really fun. So really brief. I think both episodes are like 28 minutes long, 28-ish minutes long. So it's really, really fun. We do have our Montez goal today, so you guys can get there and we can have Montez do a belly-to-back suplex, a Montez slam. We'll see if we can do that with our 20 yellow supers. We'll see if we can get that today. But yeah, good stuff today. As always, I like to start the show off with Today in Gaming History. So Blabs, what do we have today?
Oh, it depends. Okay, March 26th, everybody, is Fatal Fury 3 Road to Final Victory, released in 1995. We have Star Wars Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, released in 2002. And Far Cry 5, released in 2018. Ta-da!
Thank you for that. Give me 1 second while I switch browsers. And
yeah, I figured you were doing something wrong there.
Then I'll scald you. Hold on.
Why?
No reason.
Anyway, have you played any of those games, Arch?
Yeah, there's no need for scolding. Jedi Knight 2 is one of the best Star Wars games ever made.
That's what I've heard. I've not played it, so I can't confirm.
Great. It is great.
Which game?
Star Wars.
Jedi
You
Knight.
wouldn't know anything about it. It's fine.
What is a Star Wars?
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
What is a Star Wars today? That's a remarkably deep question, one that Kathleen Kennedy is asking a lot too.
Did you see there's like that article going around saying Disney might renew The Acolyte season 2? And I'm like, what?
I hope they do. I would love to see Disney flush another, what was it, $200 million down the hole?
Yeah.
I want to see it.
You know who would love to see that happen?
Every content creator.
Nerd
everybody.
Yep. right. Arch, everybody.
Disprove would have a field day.
Some noticeable games that you missed today, Blabs, include Pop and Twin B, a shoot 'em up from Konami, released 32 years ago in Japan. It was kind of like a chibi shooter. Konami made a lot of good shooters back then. Tough Enough for the Super Nintendo, with one of the most badass box arts ever for a video game. But also one of the most piss poor games ever. I'll pull it up here in just a second. Also, you mentioned Fatal Fury 3. Hey, any Fatal Fury is a good Fatal Fury with me. Black and White was released on PC 24 years ago in 2001. Aren't you shaking your head? Yeah?
Yeah, Black and White was great. Like, because it was back in the day when we were still doing new stuff and innovating. And granted, Peter Molyneux has always had a challenging relationship with the truth when it comes to promising features for his games, but still, Black and White was very good.
Also, Zone of the Enders, 24 years ago for the PlayStation 2 was released. Command & Conquer 3 was released in 2007 for the PC as well. Army of Two, The Devil's Cartel, a game peak with masculinity, was released 12 years ago, and once again, 2013. One Piece, Pirate Warriors 3 was released for the 2015. You mentioned Far Cry 5, which was a banger of a game. Before Ubisoft. And yeah, there we go. Bunch of good stuff. So I mentioned the box art for Tough Enough. This is so fucking stupid. Here's the box art for Tough Enough, because why would it not be? This wouldn't this make you want to buy the game, Arch? Hey, punk, are you tough enough?
That's pretty good. I was sure that was the official voiceover there for a second too.
Yeah. Now, this game was also called Dead Dance in Japan, which I don't know if I like Tough Enough better or Dead Dance. I don't know. What do you like more? Which title?
Dead Dance strikes me as the Japanese going like, hey, English words are cool, right? Just put 2 of them on the box.
Yep. I think this also has the rare occasion of actually being called a third title as well. Fighting Spirit I think this is what it was called over in the UK. So this is the rare game that actually had 3 separate names depending on where you lived in the world. So pretty cool stuff. Nice little fun fact for everybody right there. So what do you think, Blabs?
It's fabulous.
Thanks. Appreciate that. I'm just trying to drop some video game knowledge for you. Hey, we talk video games and entertainment, all this stuff. And I'm trying to drop my retro video game knowledge.
I do like the Tough Enough cover, to be completely honest. That is funny. Calling someone a punk on a cover. 10 on 10.
Hey, punk, are you tough enough?
Yeah, I accept.
Like, really, you don't even know, when you look at this, you really don't even know what the title is. If you're looking at this objectively, you have no idea what the title is of this game.
That's true.
Just like, hey, punk, are you tough? I'm like, this isn't even TUFFENUFF. It's not even properly, it's not even grammatically
it's a dog. Woof. Tough.
Yeah. Woof, Labs. There you go. Anyways, yeah. So there's a little bit of video game history for you guys. Love that. Right off the bat, Luigi came in and says, I correct myself. Tom Green thought Joe Rogan, taught Joe Rogan had a podcast. Yes, that's the story. Is Tom Green was the guy who had Joe Rogan on. Joe Rogan credits Tom Green as the inspiration for him launching his podcast. So without Tom Green, you don't have Joe Rogan. Without Joe Rogan, you don't have Donald Trump. So you can thank Tom Green for that, probably indirectly, although I bet Tom Green probably wouldn't have voted for Donald Trump. B. Barrett says, in the new Harry Potter series, Harry is going to fall off his broom and break his leg. Lockhart accidentally removes the bones, so he has to spend a night to have his knee.
You're just supposed to say patella grow, and then you'd be okay.
I'm always like one character ahead, one word. That helps.
Patella.
Raptor Kratos came in with the 10 says, Montez! Yeah, let's go. And Marius says, the correct question is, what was Star Wars? Thank you, Marius. Appreciate it. And check this out. Let's go. GK Alex became a Plus member. Once again, use that promo code DUAL and try it out for free. We'd love for you guys to do that. Open up a new window. Base chosen for one says, I've chosen Black Myth Yasuke to the elders, albeit Den has I don't even know what's being said right here. Blabs, can you read that? I don't even know. What am I missing here?
No, I feel like I have to sneeze. So anyway, I've shown Black Myth Yasuke to the elders. A bit Den has declared it not kosher. Ubisoft will soon be receiving a visit from Showman.
You're a better reader than me. A box of balloons or ballons says pickle. Hey, thank you very much for that pickle. Appreciate that. That's really nice of you. Why am I reading? I don't know. That's a great question. I see the chat wondering, why is this guy? Why is this?
Why? Why?
We don't know. We don't know. We are going to hit our super chat goal today. I'm very excited about that. We're going to have a plus member surge by you open up a new tab, go into Side Scrollers Plus, and using promo code DUEL to get that free month. We'd greatly appreciate that. Also, hey, one quick thing about Nerd Duel. So we just announced this. We're going to announce this on the first episode, but since it's coming out tomorrow, I'll just give you a heads up. We're going to have a tournament. The first season is 9 episodes. Then we're going to have a tournament of champions where all the winners are going to come back, and the winners are going to compete for 100 gifted memberships to their channel. Every new Plus member we have from the debut episode, we even started today, from during the season of Nerd Duel, every new Plus member will add a gifted membership to the total that we're going to give to the winner of the show. So if we have 50 new members, there'll be 150 gifted memberships that we hand out. If we have 300, then we'll give out 400 gifted memberships. So once again, head over there, use the promo code, and give it a go. So fun little incentive for you guys to help grow and support the creators that you guys want to create or want to support. All right, let's get into it, friends. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It is time for Hard News.
Hard News.
I found it. I found the next big craze that's going to be sweeping across the internet. Arch, I would imagine this is something that you've played before because you seem fairly diabolical and crazy. Have you ever
diabolical and crazy? I feel offended.
Well, you know, I'd say diabolical. I think you have some plans to take over the world somewhere in your lab. I would imagine, yeah.
Can
Possibly.
I just say how like the word diabolical has returned in the last month? Like it's everywhere now. No one used to say the word diabolical. Now it's everywhere. Like from anime comments to the rest of the internet. I noticed that the other day and I was like, it's everywhere. And then Craig said it and I was like, oh, it really is everywhere again.
Diabolical has been in my vernacular pretty much since I was like 8
Can you even spell vernacular? Like I'm just curious here, man.
Yeah. VERNacular. There you go.
But I'm serious. You guys haven't noticed that? It was gone and now it's returned. It's like one of those phase words.
It's a word.
It's in a phase.
We need to bring back rad.
Rad. Yes.
Yes. Right. You know what my daughter said all the time?
Radical. I like that one better. Not rad.
Bet is the big word right now.
Bitchin'.
No, bitchin' is like 1970s.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
bitchin'.
Labs, I think you would have grown up. You would have been a great 1970s kid saying all that slang.
Bitchin'.
Yeah. There you go, Labs. Arch, is there a word that you'd like to see brought back?
Yes.
What word is that?
Too close to the YouTube terms of service to speak out loud.
Can you spell it out?
Yeah, it means greedy in a creative way.
Okay. All right. You know what? Okay. All right. We'll just leave that there. But Arch, you do strike me as somebody who's probably played this game in real life, and you are now going to have the opportunity to do it on a computer without the risk of being in danger. Arch, have you ever busted out a knife and played the knifey finger game where you put your hand on the table and you do the knife in between your fingers? Have you ever done that before?
No, I've only ever been the victim of knife crime, never the perpetrator.
That's right. Maybe that's what your psycho ex-girlfriend was doing. Was she put her hand on your head and was going like this with the knife?
Possibly.
Well, they have turned this knife game into a PC game called Owie. Check it out. This was debuted at GDC. Auzu. Oh, there it is. We got a rhythm game about the knife skills here.
I mean, it's a less dangerous version of the game, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it doesn't get real fun till you get to like level 20 and it's going really fast. But you know, I see this as something that streamers could definitely play. It seems like a really basic type setup, but they have this like fake knife here. Labs, you ever played this before? Ever just got out a knife and kind of gone between?
Absolutely not. I have a higher mentality than that.
Oh, don't get off your high horse. You know,
No, who does that? I maybe did it with like a pencil or something that wouldn't actually stab me.
Oh, okay. Replace the knife with whatever. But have you ever done that?
I probably did when I was a kid, just like bored in class or whatever. I can't say anything recently, but yeah, I'm sure I've done it once in my life as a child. Yeah, I mean, who hasn't?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
With like a pencil.
Yeah. Who has not done this? Chat, if you've done this, please raise your hand in the chat. I would love to see just the overwhelming majority of normal men say they've played this for sure. Because I know they have. Everybody's done this before. Anyways, now you can get scored for it. Congratulations, everybody. You can do it. Coming soon to GDC. This is the next viral.
Oh, this is a great point, though. Pyro says it wouldn't know if the hand was there or where you stabbed, so you just use the thing on the table without your hand.
I mean, there's a lot of truth in that, unless the black
has like a sensor.
Yeah, mouse pad has a sensor in it, right?
Yeah, and it feels your hand. Maybe. Very
well,
interesting.
I would imagine the camera would do it, because there's a camera right there filming the hand, so the black is just the background, then it contrasts it against the black, I guess.
Hopefully that's what it is, and not just like an image.
So you're smart. You know what's going on with that. Arch just figured out all the technology for Owzy, the new hit viral game that's coming soon, courtesy of GDC. Stabby, yes. You know, speaking of GDC, we had a surprising lack of news come out of GDC. There was a little bit that kind of trickled out, but we didn't have any screaming developers this year, which was very kind of disappointing. If you recall, last year, the developers went out and just started screaming into the void. And I actually posted a tweet about this, just curious, because I did not see a single tweet about how dangerous it is that these people are now suppressing their rage instead of getting it out vocally. Do you recall this last year, Arch?
I do recall that. I guess no longer as panicky today, maybe.
I would argue that they're more panicky, but yeah, I think they're just suppressing their internal rage right here. Which is tough to see. Oh. You know, you see that and you just go, man, are these people broken? They're all just broken, just yelling out in the void and just screaming, you know.
Especially as, again, like this is not really how men express their anger or dissatisfaction. Screaming at one another is not really the way we do things. If they'd set up a fight ring, I'd get it, but this just seems kind of feminine to me.
Could you imagine that fight ring? Just give
them wiffle bats and have them beat each other. They'll feel better.
Oh my gosh. Blabs, have you ever just walked outside in Guam and screamed out into the void?
No, I can't say I've done that.
No?
No, maybe like as a child, you just go outside and you're like shrieking at like the playground or something, or you're doing like some pretend game or whatever that you're like yelling or whatever. But no, I don't just walk outside and yell.
Oh.
That's kind of weird. I feel like also if I did that, my neighbors would come over and be like, "You good? You good, homie?" And I'd be like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Because yeah.
You're right. And that's probably a good thing for neighbors to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually happened that like when I played like Call of Duty or Apex and I get really, really mad and yell, they sometimes can hear me screaming and shouting and they'll text and be like, "Are you okay?" So, and it's like they can even see me, right? They can't see my house because there's so much woodland stuff around, but I guess my voice just echoes in yeah, there's nothing here. It's just forest, so you echo.
Okay.
And they can hear me echoing, I guess.
Okay. Just saying, Blabs, if you're yelling that loud that you can scream through the forest and still hear you, and your neighbors can hear you, you may want to get
Call
your
of Duty is a bit, you get into it, okay? Apex, it brings out the best of us.
That's
You
true.
motherfucker!
God, I got to get back on Apex. God,
I do too. I really want to get on it. I've heard there's a lot of changes. I kind of want to see that.
I'll tell you what. When I was playing it, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I haven't played it in like a year, so
Yeah,
I was 42.
same.
Now, I'll say this right now. I was probably, and I'm not kidding, probably the best 42-year-old Apex console player out there. Like,
Shout out.
definitely in my neighborhood. I'd say right now.
The music, dude, is just I love all of it. I know it's took a turn, and like even somebody in the chat, Apex is super whack. But like if you ignore the stupid characteristics, the gameplay is just fun.
Yeah, I agree. I
This
agree.
is.
Like, you don't need to watch the cutscenes and stuff.
No,
Just like,
you don't need to know the lore about the characters. Like I don't give a fuck about like
Yeah.
Valkyrie and whoever else is fucking each other. I don't care about that. I just like the cool abilities.
and like that's same with everyone's like, you can just skip the credits. Yes, we know you can skip the credits, right? But the point is, we'll still, yes, it's really stupid that Valkyrie's fucking the other girl and blah blah.
Yeah,
blah,
they're
blah,
all
blah.
lesbians together. There's a
We're gonna-
tranny and like
Right.
produces goo, and we call it tranny goo, and it's funny. But yeah,
Right, and
you
we'll
just
laugh at
ignore
it. Like, we'll laugh at that shit, but this still doesn't mean it's not fun, you know. Like, all right, speaking of fun, 45 years of fun as Pac-Man is celebrating its 45th anniversary of all things by becoming Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble's latest playable character. What? Okay. So this is interesting. Twist for the turn. I think that I did not anticipate Pac-Man celebrating 45 by being somebody else's game.
Is Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble a video game?
what? You don't know about it, bruh? I'm gonna boot it up right now. I have it on my Nintendo DS. I have it on my Switch. Here it is. Oh,
Well,
I
here
got
we are.
download new software. That's sad, but yeah, it's right there.
Here's the trailer. Check it out. Oh, look at, you see Blabs with look at the gamer cred. Look at that. Look at her gamer cred. There it is right there.
Yeah, I don't have it on my Nintendo DS.
Thank you, Blabs.
My
Good.
DS is in my closet still. It's still alive and works.
Well, let's see what happens here. Come on, music.
I think it's great. That's a fun little collab for those who really like it. Fun. I got no complaints. I think it's cool.
Can I tell you something really quick?
He doesn't look that great.
This mode right here, first person Pac-Man mode. No thanks. No interest in that. Mm-mm.
Why? Because it looks like Rainbow Road from Mario Kart.
No, because I want to be able to see where I'm going.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of first person.
Yeah, that's pretty
Pac-Man.
hard to be honest.
Yeah.
First person ball eating simulator.
You don't eat balls. Well, I mean, those you kind of do because it's Pac-Man, but they're
Yeah.
supposed to be bananas.
Those are balls.
Yeah.
Those are
Blabs-
balls.
They're usually bananas. It's the monkeys eating the bananas and everything.
No, but Blabs, it's very clear. What is Pac-Man going after?
He likes balls. Listen, maybe he's gay.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's been the bit with we made that
Very
joke back in
progressive game, you must say.
2007. Like, yeah, like Miss Pac-Man is the biggest whore of them all because all she wants to do is go around gobbling balls.
Mm.
Right? We know that, right? So, well, there you go. We got there's your low-hanging fruit for the day for your banana. See, we did that. Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble, the game that Blabs loves so much she owns it twice.
Well, yeah, because I had it on my Nintendo DS from over like almost 20 years ago now, and then I have it on the Switch. I only just got the Switch game got like 6 months ago. So.
All right. Well, I'm really proud of you for your.
I actually gave it to my nephew to try. My 3-year-old nephew. He was not a good driver,
Mhm.
as expected. He was just jumping off the ledge every time. Like, no, you have to go that way. Find the bananas. Boom. Every time, off the ledge, instantaneously.
Kids are dumb.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I love it. And then he wouldn't give me my Switch back. He's like, it's mine. I was like, no, it's actually mine, man.
Aiden came in with the 5, says Ranger season coming up this summer. I'll attend a game or two when the Houston Cheaters come to come to town, and I'll boo them loudly. Cheaters! Let them know, Aiden. Let them know. Worthy One says, New Jack is going to be a DLC character for WWE 2K25. WWE acknowledging New Jack is kind of cool. I was not aware of that. Thank you, Worthy One. Appreciate the wrestling update. By the way, we are going to do a WrestleMania watch-along over on Plus. That is one thing that we are definitely going to do. I've got a couple of folks. I know a lot of people asking about wrestling stuff. We got a bunch of wrestling stuff on the way, including a WrestleMania watch party over there. So more details soon. Marksman came in, says, can we get the No Man's Sky Relic trailer? Only a minute long. It's been almost a decade. And yet No Man's Sky is still going strong. We need more devs like Hello Games without the fail launch, of course. Yeah, No Man's Sky is a really interesting case study in video games because, Arch, do you remember when No Man's Sky launched and what a disaster it was?
I do. They massively overpromised and didn't deliver any of it. But then, noteworthy, they actually continued working on it instead of just packing it up.
Yeah, and No Man's Sky has turned into a really good game. It's crazy. Let's see if we can find this trailer. Oh yeah, here it is. No Man's Sky official Relics trailer. I've not seen this yet. Let's see what we got here.
Relics brings archaeology to No Man's Sky. Design your own skeletal displays. Create your own museum. Barter to find the rarest exhibits. But some things are buried for a reason. More will follow.
Floating geometry, one of the oldest enemies in video gaming.
That's right. I'm curious what No Man's Sky looks like right now as far as player base on Steam. Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay. So there's way more people playing it than I thought there were. There's 10,000 people playing No Man's Sky right now. That's, for a game that's a decade old, that's pretty damn good, and it's been holding true for a pretty good while. So you can see their peaks and their valleys, and that's pretty damn crazy right there. 2012 at launch, and then it dropped, went all the way down to 1,000. So they've been able to maintain this. I think that's pretty damn impressive. And yes, they should be commended for that for sure. I think that's great. What's that, Arch?
No, definitely. They should.
Ian came in and says, I have played the knife game with diabolical results. Ian, of course.
Diabolical.
Thank you. Give it up for Scott Block, who became a brand new Plus member. Once again, you can use promo code DUEL and get a free month of Plus. You can support us over there and give it a try. Check out all the new things we have coming your way, including the premiere of Nerd Duel tomorrow, exclusively over on Plus. Bentley came in with the 10, says, I just noticed something as well, Blabs. For those that have seen Pinky and the Brain, I've concluded Arch is the brain and Craig is Pinky. Hashtag the more you know, Montez. I agree with you on that, Bentley. Have you ever seen Pinky and the Brain? Blabs?
I have.
Yeah?
I actually haven't.
It's Pinky and the Brain, Pinky and the Brain. One is a genius. The other's insane. There it is.
Oh, so it's you. Okay, then I actually agree too.
Yes.
Smart, Arch. Dumb
That's right.
Craig.
No, insane, Craig. Difference. Not dumb. Insane. Pinky's the one who takes all the risks, and the brain's the one who's trying to take over the world. Miku came and says, Miss Pac-Man wants to speak with... Okay, thank you very much, Miku. Jag came in and says, all those hours staring at a butt, staring at a monkey butt on the GameCube. Yes. Saint came in and says, Blab, did you hear about Nick Frost?
I actually did because I reported it before Deadline even broke the news. Shout out. I'm better than the mainstream media. I knew about it for days. I have a YouTube channel. Subscribe. Thank you.
Flaps, how did you know about that before?
I had a friend who sent me the article. So I'm in like this channel thing. I'm actually an admin where we just share Harry Potter news with like hundreds of people in like the Harry Potter sphere. Yeah. He dropped the news. He found it. There's like this Redditor who seems to know all these leaks about Harry Potter. Like he was like saying the announcing of like John Lithgow and Papa Ezadu or Snape and like all these things seem to be correct. So yeah, it's this Redditor who's just dropping stuff.
Well, speaking of Redditors who drop stuff, there was a lot of rumors about a potential Nintendo Direct happening this week. People were saying it's going to happen on Thursday because if you recall, next week on the 2nd, I believe, Nintendo is doing their big Nintendo Direct about the Switch 2. Well, people were saying, why would they want to do a Nintendo Direct before the big Switch Nintendo Direct? Well, turns out the rumor was true. As tomorrow morning, by the time we are live, they'll be doing a Nintendo Direct feature about 30 minutes of upcoming games for the Nintendo Switch. There will be no updates about Nintendo Switch 2 during the presentation. So looks like they're getting their last gasp of kind of Switch relevancy before they turn all their focus to Switch 2. These games are coming quickly. Look out for them soon. So we'll see kind of what they announce tomorrow. We'll definitely cover that on the show. Labs, are you excited for the Switch 2?
I mean, I'm excited for everyone else, but I have a Switch that works perfectly just fine, and I don't use it enough to go and get a Switch 2. But I am excited to see, the final product and everyone geek out. Like that should be fun. That's a good, exciting time for gamers, right? And I'm happy for you guys.
Labs, you said you have what game? You have the Monkey Ball game on the
on
the 3DS or 2DS?
I have a Nintendo DS.
Oh, just a DS.
The OG.
Okay. What if?
Or maybe it's a Nintendo DS Lite. No, it's a Lite. Yeah.
Do you recall the potential add-on that was kind of rumored? I think it was like a mock-up, but I feel like this has kind of picked up a little bit of steam, where you tack the second monitor on to your Switch, and then you could play your 2DS games via emulation on your Switch.
Oh.
So would that be assisted? Would that move the needle?
Here's the thing, though. A lot of my Nintendo DS games are gone.
What I'm saying is, now you can play them now on the Switch too.
Well, if they bring them on, like were you saying they're going to have them on the Switch so you can go and play them that way and not like bring them over? Okay. Yeah. I mean, I could be interested, but like a lot of the games that I play on the DS were very, very niche that I don't know if I'd want to go back to. Like it was a lot of Professor Layton, and a lot of the endings for that really pissed me off. So I just kind of like stopped playing that series. And then it was like Monkey Balls and Scrabble and things like that. And even Brain Age, I think. And then there was like the Lego video games that just weren't that good on the Nintendo DS. So it's not enough to entice me to go back from my own experience. But I can see why people would be like, oh, that game was so amazing. I get to play it for the Switch. And then absolutely like, yeah, that'd be cool. But it wouldn't be enough to make me buy a whole new Switch. My Switch is 5 years old. Not even. No, it's like 3 years old. So, yeah.
Well, we definitely have a lot of Nintendo news coming in the next week, which is pretty cool and exciting. So first news tomorrow, we'll be talking about that. And then next week as well, we'll do some sort of reaction to the Switch 2 trailer. This has nothing to do with the Switch, but it has everything to do with Arch's wheelhouse, BattleTech. Arch, what was going on with this bad boy?
Oh, BattleTech has just lost all relevance and decided to become Worm 40,000, which really doesn't work.
Give us this looks like there's it says longtime holders of the BattleTech tabletop gaming license. So give us the rundown here. What exactly is happening?
They decided to multiverse BattleTech, which is not good, by adding in kaijus to it. Normally, I'd be all for the addition of kaijus to almost anything, but not to BattleTech. Not to BattleTech, no.
Why is that? Why not to BattleTech? As somebody who knows nothing about this.
Because it's setting about giant stompy robots kicking each other's asses and adding in cows with cannons on top of it kind of just doesn't fly with the whole setting.
Okay.
This got a lot of pushback online because nobody seems to like this. Nobody seems to like this. April's Fool's joke, yes. It got kind of the same reaction as, they announced that Diablo phone game, and the first guy in the FAQ line was like, is this an April Fool's joke?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That was pretty much the reaction to BattleTech Gothic.
Right. Okay. It's always fun when you see an announcement like that and it just gets ripped to shreds. Yeah. and like the company has to somehow find a way to justify it. Like the guys, the red shirt guy who asked that question, and at speaking of the Diablo game, and then have to be like, no, this is very much real, and like having to swallow your pride right there. That's tough. Oof. Well, so you don't plan on checking out BattleTech anytime soon, huh?
No, this is the developers not knowing what their own setting is anymore. It's sad, but it's about time we put Grandpa BattleTech out to pasture.
Sad day. All right. Speaking of things going out to pasture, I didn't know this was happening, but apparently it is, or not anymore. Did you know they were making a live-action Street Fighter movie, Arch?
I know they have made a live-action Street Fighter movie, which was amazing.
Oh, you like that one, huh?
Yeah, that was amazing.
It was The Legend of Chun-Li, right?
Yep, I think so. But I haven't heard that they plan to recommit to that era.
Well, they had until they haven't, because the live-action Street Fighter movie has been delayed indefinitely. So, rough day. This would be this would be like the third Gundam over here. This would have been like the third live-action Street Fighter movie. Obviously, the 1994 one. Then they came out with Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li, which was just universally panned, where it featured a Black Eyed Peas member as Vega. That's funny. So, it's just kind of like a fun little thing. And I didn't know what was happening, didn't know it needed to happen. And guess what? It certainly didn't need to happen, because they know that it has been rejected to court here. So, is there a movie franchise or a video game franchise that you'd like to see adapted to a movie, Arch?
Adapted to a movie? Would I wish such a fate upon anything? What's the worst game I can think of? See, these days, I don't expect them to do anything well. Like, you remember back in the day when we were like, oh, it's a lazy movie tie-in game? I feel like we've got the opposite now of lazy game movie tie-ins instead. Like,
Right. I think there has been a shift for sure. I like video games for the longest time from a movie perspective were very taboo to touch. Going back to the 90s, the first real big video game movie I remember seeing, obviously Tron was a video game movie, but a movie based off an IP was obviously Super Mario Brothers, the one in the 90s. And Arch, did you see the original Super Mario Brothers movie?
I think I did, but it's been a very long time.
It's horrendous. It's absolutely horrendous. There's nothing. It's so off the plot bad. It's so bad. And Street Fighter, when it was released with Jean-Claude Van Damme in it, that was panned when it came out. And I got to be honest, when I saw it as a kid, I thought, it's a movie, right? But
it's not very good. But
would you say it's very good?
It's not very good, but it's a nice meme today,
right? Yeah, Blabs, do you want to chime in?
What just happened? I went to type. The shortcuts activated again on StreamYard. So.
You're really excited to chime in about Jean-Claude Van Damme as Guile.
Yeah, he's a man. Anyway, I guess that's it.
Thanks, Blabs. Appreciate that.
Shout out StreamYards.
Yeah, so Street Fighter, the 1990. You okay, Blabs?
That was hilarious. Sorry.
Street Fighter has some rose-colored glasses attached to it over the years. We get further and further away from the 1994 classic Street Fighter. People really seem to enjoy it for kind of the campy nature of it, campy, over the top, and just 90s action film. Lots of explosions, and they tried to make it a thing, and I think it's mostly looked back on as Raul Julia, who played M. Bison. That was kind of his last role. So
yeah, he did an amazing performance.
Yes. Game over. So what a stud. It was great. Speaking of Raul Julia, I watched a little bit of The Addams Family recently, the movie from the 90s as well. Raul Julia, what a stud. What a stud that guy is. It's crazy.
Old school acting. Like, I tell you, it was a completely different breed back then.
Rest in peace, Raul. Ultra V became a Plus member. Thank you so much. Once again, use promo code DUEL, and you'll be able to get a free month of Side Scrollers Plus over there. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much, Ultra V. C. Thomas came in with the Montez Super. Says a Montez for 3 things. Reminder: Craig has HR lady glasses. Labs is all right, and Arch's greatest sin is European. Montez, thank you very much, C. Thomas, for the Montez. Noodles says had to skip work today to get a tooth extracted. At least I can watch side scrollers while I heal up. Noodles, thanks so much for hanging with us today, buddy. Appreciate that. And get something on that tooth. A little bit of salt water. I think that's what they want you to do. A little salt water. Make sure you're rinsing it out. Nocturnal Wolf says, have you seen the teaser for Sword and Slippers, a hack and slash character action game where you play a very fan servicey Snow White with a big axe? No, I have not
sounds
seen it.
fun.
Let's see if you can pull that up real quick.
Mhm.
Arch, your thoughts on a Snow White hack and slash adventure?
The West is finally healing by embracing Japanese fan service.
That's awesome. Love that. Well, Blast pulls it up. Zem says the almighty Loki was talking about the clapback last night on live stream. Last night, he talked about how there's a vibe shift of people being tired of culture war stuff. Thoughts? Zim, that's a really good question. And I got to be honest, I don't disagree. I think there is very specific reason. I think everybody feels the culture has shifted. And there will always be stupidity to talk about in the video game space. And there'll be things to celebrate in the video game space. So Side Scrollers, the podcast, is not going anywhere. But you are going to notice that shift in the things that we produce. If like Nerd Duel is a great example of that. We are 100% pivoting and shifting. The show will be here. It will always be here. It is the central focus of this channel. But Nerd Duel is the first addition to that. We have Blabs Versus. So we are definitely making more content to go along with that shift. I think that there has definitely been, we'll get into the clap back here in a little bit with all that. But we want to broaden what we do here on a day-to-day basis and what we bring you guys on a day-to-day basis. And you definitely will see this 100%. So good question. Siphon says, I strap playing No Man's Sky since I guess I start playing in 2016. Despite its early issues, I have loved that game. I have more hours in No Man's Sky than any other game. The new update is out now. Hello Games keeps pushing what an ultimate game can do. Oh, I like it. That's a really great statement right there. Pushing what an ultimate game can do. Siphon, thank you very much for your great support. Jesus is here. Look busy. Says idea for Montez. Doom. Montez lady teleports in front of Doom guy. He then blasts her with the BFG 9000 super shotgun or Gibbs her with a berserker power up. I don't give a fuck. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Jesus is here. Look busy. Labs, you can screen cap that. Maybe take a look at that. There you go. Wasp came in at the 10, says, so what you're saying is BattleTech decided to make a decision with their properties that's comparable to Pontiac Aztec. Ouch.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
The Titter Pig Rancher came in and says, I've been a BattleTech fan for 30 years, ever since the demo from for Mech Warrior 2 on a PC Gamer preview CD. BattleTech Gothic is disgusting. Catalyst Game Labs can't even fulfill the Mercenaries KS yet and are doing this BS. F them.
Yep. No, it's a terrible idea. I have a video on it today. It just comes out like 10 minutes or something. But it's so much worse than you think, because BattleTech, like, Grimdark is a very specific thing. It's got a very specific flavor. It's got a very specific feel to it. BattleTech is not that. In fact, both settings have prided themselves on not being the other for like 40 years. This is kind of like Starship Troopers trying to become Star Wars. It's just a terrible idea all around.
Well, it's good to see the pushback on the from the fans, and you'll be called toxic as you've already have been, and just because you're pushing against the narrative, the thought process of what the company thinks you should like. So toxic. I think that's what we're going to start doing now. Is anybody who doesn't like side scrollers, we're just going to start calling them toxic. I think it's a good strategy, Cotton. See how it works out. Vault came in and says, Arch, a few weeks ago, you mentioned something called the Excesses of the Weimar Republic. Is this a book, a documentary, What is the correct title and where can I find it? Montez!
A Voluptuous Panic is the title of the book. You can find it on the Internet Archive for free. You'll not want to read it in public, but you can find it there.
Thank you, Vault. Adam came in and says, BattleTech is chasing a Gothic trend after the Trench Crusade is growing popular. There was a fan-made atlas as if it was a Trench Crusade. Catless must have seen that and said, yes, do that.
Yep. The thing is, too, like, it's a chase for the Grimdark, because more and more I thought about this. Grimdark is kind of a lazy setting idea because it relies a lot on mystery. It relies on, like, oh my god, what is that terrible thing over there? And it doesn't explain it to you because it relies on your brain seeing the terrible thing and then making up your own headcanon to explain it. And since it's your headcanon, you'll like it. Thus, you'll be intrinsically drawn towards the setting because you'll make up a story that you like to justify getting into it. It's kind of diabolical, if you will, Blabs.
Haha.
Did you hear that?
I did.
Blabs peeked up there. All right, nice. Speaking of diabolical, we do see every super chat, every direct donation, every Rumble rant. We'll read every single one of them. But speaking of diabolical, let's talk Rachel Zegler and the bomb that was
Must we?
Snow White. Yes, we must. Rachel Zegler reportedly has strained nerves at both Disney and Steven Spielberg's Amblin Picture partners when she complained on social media that she wasn't invited to the 2022 Oscars as the star of Best Picture nominee West Side Story. Sources say she has just begun production on she had just begun production on Snow White in London, and Sean Bailey, then president of Walt Disney Studios Motion Picture Production, declined to cut her loose for the telecast. After Zegler aired her grievances publicly, the Academy provided her with a ticket even though she wasn't nominated. So I think we can all look, we all know she seems like the worst person in the world.
She's a bitch.
Right.
I don't know about that. I still hold Zendaya as the worst person.
Really? You
world.
think so? She doesn't seem like as a bitch, though. She just seems to be a horrible actress.
She ruined Dune. I will never forgive her.
That's fair. She's not a good actress, regardless of what anyone says. But I did a little research on Rachel Zegler over the weekend, it was, or like Monday night, I can't remember. And I don't know if anyone's covered this. If they have, I'm sorry, I'm late to the party. But I went and looked at Rachel Zegler's Instagram photos that she was posting when the movie was finally released. And she was like, I'm so proud of it. And she was taking photos of like the cast and crew. There were no pictures of her and Gal whatsoever. Like, we already knew that there was like all that tension and everything, but like not even a photo from the set or anything. She completely ignored her co-star like in every single post. And I just thought that was kind of interesting into showing how much of a bitch she is, because you can't even post one photo, right? Like, not even for like professionalism or business, you know, like, look, I got along with everybody. Nope. Yeah.
She does seem like a terrible human being. It is true.
Yes.
You know, it goes back to this. If you have talent, it doesn't matter how shitty of a person you are, because she can belt it out and she's still getting hired, you know, and she still will get hired because she can belt it out. And yes, she is a piece of shit, and we all understand that. But at the end of the day, she can hit that A.
I wonder though, because like, yeah, she can sing, no doubt. She can actually genuinely sing. But like back in the day, movie, I've said that like 3 times today. I'm getting nostalgic for the old days, aren't I? But
Vietnam flashbacks.
Kind of. Like, actors were supposed to be draws for movies, you know? You know, Tom Cruise, and like, oh my god, I gotta watch that. Now it's like Rachel Zegler.
Yep. Well, that's why Zendaya's constantly casted. Look at her Instagram following. Look at Florence Pugh following, right? Like, all these actresses, they're all the same. And somebody in the chat said it really, really well. Zendaya's not like insufferable. She's just overused. And I agree with that. She's everywhere. Like Florence Pugh and Rachel Zegler and all that. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you to the Big Rancher. Appreciate that. Well, I just looked at the box office, and it has not. They haven't updated it since last weekend, but it's at 88 million. You know, and they need to make way more than that for it to recover and make its money back. So it'll definitely be a long burn for Snow White.
GG's. Good job, Disney.
Yep.
Great game.
Real quick before we get to Joey Super, I think Snow White is like, we will have like woke content still, right? But I think as far as Disney goes, I think that's the last big piece of woke content that Disney does. That's
You
the
think
content.
so? I'm literally
Yeah.
looking at like the MCU casting for Avengers 5 because it's still going. I don't think so, bro. Simu Liu is back as Shang-Chi. We're so back, baby. Like,
My gut says that the people the investors in Disney are going to go, how many failures can you possibly have? You go, look at Inside Out 2. That was a good film. It was the highest grossing, cartoon ever, right? Look at Snow White. Look what you did. It fucking bombed. We want more of this, not of this. And I think ultimately money is going to start talking very, very soon. But that's, I don't know.
you would think so, but some people are just so stupid for the agenda. They're willing to risk it all and lose it all for ideas and agenda, right?
Yeah. Well, I think we've seen that over the last 4 or 5 years where Disney was open to losing it, and they did. Like they did. So now we're at a point where once we talked about the culture shift, that people are now being like, yo, dog, I want to make my money back. Can you start making some good shit so we can start making our money back on our investments? I would really appreciate that,
I'm just really curious about Gina Carano's lawsuit because that'll be happening, next year or something like that?
As long as it needs to take. Arch, what were you going to say?
It takes time. That's the thing. Like, I too believe that they have received the message with Inside Out 2, with The Acolyte. But now they're going to need to turn around. And not only are they going to need to plan new shows, which is going to take like 2 years easy, then they're going to need to find somebody conservative to actually write those shows and people willing to work on it. Like, we're 3, 4, 5 years away from seeing genuinely like normal entertainment again, I think.
I think I don't even think they need to have somebody conservative do it. Just not hell-bent on adding their ideology to everything and their worldview. Like, that's the biggest thing, just it doesn't need to be conservative. Just doesn't need to be beat over the head with the shit, There's
like a lot of left people who make great movies, right? We've seen it throughout like the decades. It's just that they don't constantly put like the agenda, as Craig says. So like, I don't see a problem with that. Whoever makes the movie is fine. I don't care about their political beliefs as long as they leave it at home. That's what our message has always been, right? Like, you can have whatever political thoughts you want, freedom of speech, freedom of thought, all that, right? Just leave it at home. Just make the movie you're supposed to make, and that's it. So yeah.
It seems like, and that's how like we get labeled like right wing, because that's our thought process is like, hey, we just don't want to hear about your shit. That's like, if you go back and you look at me, you look at my career, you go back 10 years ago, I was saying the same damn thing. I don't care what you believe, because as long as I don't have to hear about it, right? Do whatever you want to do. Just don't tell me how I should live. Real simple. That's it, but either way. All right. Joey came in and says, out of the classic video game movies of the 90s, there's none better than Mortal Kombat from 1995 and none worse than Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Let's go. Yes, Mortal Kombat was legit. Mercenary says, hey, Arch, thoughts on GCL's BattleTech 2 Gothic? It looks like they are desperate for money. They're trying to adopt an inferior Grimdark. A crossover would have been better. Montez.
Yep. I'll have my full thoughts on it in like a 20-minute video today, but it's obviously desperation. BattleTech doesn't sell very well. It's living from Kickstarter to Kickstarter because Catalyst has massively mismanaged the entire setting. And this is them hoping that, hey, that 40K thing sells. What if we just smash the two together and pray?
JJ Sickman says, hey, it's Cloak Wednesday. Oh, it's White Cap Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Have fun and game on. Thank you so much, JJ Sickman. Yes, it is White Cap Wednesday. Arch missed the memo. Stillborn Akkad came in as a plus member. Thank you so much. You must have used that promo code DUEL to get a free month. Once again, open up a new tab right now and join.
He actually did.
Let's stink and go. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Use that promo code. We'd really appreciate that. DUEL, D-U-E-L. Dirtus King says, as a Warhammer 40K fan and not a BattleTech fan, I feel for the poor mech warriors that have the current right holders trying to burn it down so hard that it will make it nigh on impossible to recover.
Yep. They're doing everything they can to damage BattleTech.
At the end of the day, she can hit an A. I did say that. And by the way, I did think about like giving you a little wink there, Ian. Thanks very much. Appreciate that. Yes, super smug. All right, we'll get to the rest of your super chats very, very shortly, but let's keep moving on, talking about Call of Duty. Yeah. Okay, this was interesting. I saw this and I was like, all right. This is from the official Call of Duty account. Now, this is definitely an ad. I want to make sure that we're talking about this. So a personal record always makes for an epic story. Okay, so here we go. This is this guy Swag. I don't really know who he is, but he has over 500,000 followers on X. He's part of FaZe Clan. Okay, here we go. As he recalls one of his most memorable matches. Here we go. Let's just take a look at like 20 seconds of this.
You want to reminisce? Here's one of my favorites. My best day on Verdansk, man. So I'm running trios with the crew. And you know we got to land hospital. Right away, I grab the heli and start catching randoms flying in, chopping them left and right. We get our loadies and we just start melting through fools like butter. I was just on one that day. I mean, we were just vibing and flowing, you know? And then I look up at the count and it hit me. I'm about to break my personal record. I just need 2 more to break it. So I'm super excited. You know, adrenaline's pumping right.
Okay, sorry. I was about enough of that as I could possibly take. So he's been paid to talk about this, right? It's just a bunch of like, bleh, right? And this apparently is how the kids talk today, and that's fine. But what's interesting
Is
about
it fine?
What's
Is
that,
it
Art?
fine? Is this acceptable to speak like this?
I mean,
yeah, that's brain rot. But
hey,
it's FaZe Clan, so like brain rot.
he grabbed his loadies.
Yeah, I was like, we say that now, Lodies?
No, he doesn't. Or he does. Anyone else. But what was interesting about this was the quote tweet here, and this is from Blame Truth over on X, which we've had Blame Truth on the show.
We
right?
have.
Yes. Call of Duty stud. He said 3 months ago he was on the verge of tears because of how bad Warzone is. Now he's doing paid ads for them. So this is what he was saying 3 months ago.
This game, I can't even play it, bro. I can't even play the game.
Just hitting the rocks under, man.
He's hacking. On God. He's watch out. Nice. Bro. No. Without A, getting hacked on, B, if we kill the hackers, they can crash the lobby. What am I even saying? Bro? I mean, this is just genuinely embarrassing, bro. This is embarrassing, man. This is embarrassing.
So don't forget, he got his loadies, and he wanted to let you guys know about that. This is pointed out, and I just think it's really interesting to kind of see the perspective on this and how money truly talks when it comes to these creators. And at the end of the day, they're going to be critical. But hey, you want to pay me to do it? All right, I'll get that bag. Arch, you got any thoughts on the hypocritical nature of this?
Well, there was a few leaks recently by creators being paid for political parties then to say things they like. They were given like standard like talk sheets, etc., and they all parroted out, all of them tweeted it out uncritically and so on. And I'm just surprised these people still have an audience, genuinely so.
Well, he's part of FaZe Clan, and FaZe is huge. It's been a long going thing for a good while. It's probably one of the most prominent esports brands out there. They've really, I'd say, done it the right way, whereas a lot of people have packed up and gone. But if you're part of FaZe Clan, you're making pretty damn good money. I'm curious to see what this dude was, what Swag's like net worth is, because why not? So actually, our net worth. Let's just see what that is worth here. Swag streamers net worth.
You good, bro?
No, I'm not good. Not good at all. Let's play the Price is Right game, Blabs.
Right. How much his net worth is?
Chris Lamberson is his real name. How much? What is Chris Lamberson Swag's net worth?
You know what? Since you made that reaction, 5 million at least.
Arch?
10.
Swag, whose real name is Chris Lamberson, has an estimated net worth, Labs, of $8.5 million.
For talking like that, maybe I need to start saying loadies. Yo, bitches, let's go get our loadies. We're gonna go pop some caps. Pew, pew. Whatever it is. Yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try now. I'm gonna go boot up Call of Duty later. It's gonna be fun.
However, other sources suggest a lower net worth of around $1.2 to $2.2 million.
Still a millionaire.
Yes.
The thing is, it's kind of weird that people don't have any resistance to this anymore. Like there was this one was like yesterday. I Show Speed showed up in China, and it's like, this is amazing. Look what an amazing country this is. And people had been leaking emails that they'd gotten to go to China, and it's literally just a paid deal to go make propaganda.
Yeah.
I can't imagine doing something like this so obviously fake and so obviously paid for propaganda and retaining an audience afterwards.
I'm gonna tell you straight up. One of the things we talked about doing, and this is something I've actually wanted to do for several years. I would love to work with local chamber of commerces, like small chamber of commerce, and highlight and go do shows at like small Americana cities. I would love to do that. Right. There's a few years ago, I went to this event in this little small town called Mitchell, South Dakota, and they were having a celebration arch for corn. It was a corn festival.
Oh, the corn maze.
Yes. And they have a corn palace and they have a corn parade. It's all to celebrate corn. It's the most Americana motherfucking thing I've ever seen in my life. And if we could partner with the town of Mitchell, South Dakota, to bring side strollers there for a few days, nothing would make me happier. Like, I'd be so happy just to go to the Corn Palace. It'd be so freaking fun. And we'd have, Arch, you could come. You could see what true America is. It'd be awesome. You can have all the corn you want. But anyways, yeah, I hear you. Those. So the thing is, Arch, is I would be the pot calling the kettle black if I didn't tell you that back when I worked for Rooster Teeth, we actually got flown out to Taiwan, and I didn't see any of the money. I got a free trip out of it, but they paid Rooster Teeth to bring us out to do we did like a 6.5 minute video where we went around Taiwan. And I'll tell you this, we were there for like 4 days and it was awesome. We had a guide the entire time. I had all this great food. It was definitely I don't know. It was a very
polished.
Yes, very polished version of what I saw. With the only exception being when I saw one of the guys that we were with wanted to get a tattoo, and we went to go. He went to go get a tattoo at this guy's apartment, and he was doing ketamine on his table. So there was that.
Wild.
So. But yes, that type of stuff, you're right, Arch, happens all of the time where these governments hand out money to fly out the influencer. And yeah, iShow Speed is 1,000% getting paid for those things. So.
Actually, I was thinking about that last night, about like these influencers being like paid to do stuff and partnerships. And like, I'll use like Instagram, for example. So there's a lot of like Disney adults and Wizarding World adults, fans and stuff like that, right? And for some reason, like, WB and Disney always picks like the same people over and over again because they like both Disney and Harry Potter or Star Wars or everything. And it's like, don't you have like any like brand loyalty almost? Like, don't you want to just be like pick one person who's a really specific fan, not just like, oh, I love everything. It was always about like the numbers and the viewerships, which I guess it is, but it's something to think about. I always see it that it's like, oh, I love this, oh, I love that. And in reality, they don't actually like give a shit about Lord of the Rings or something, right? You see that all the time. It's like, I don't know. I just find it all very disgusting lately.
I remember the Lord of the Rings of Power super fans.
Yeah.
Never spoke about it ever again
Chanel
afterwards.
is one of them. Chanel. She is like a Maggie Smith impersonator. Her thing is Maggie Smith, and somehow she ended up in Lord of the Rings like premiere stuff. And I'm like, what are you doing there, bro? So, yeah, it's fake.
The companies just go after the numbers largely.
Yeah. But like it's so weird. Wouldn't you get like a fan that's actually a fan from there and not just like some like bland super fan of everything? Like it just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, that's the interesting thing, I guess, because you could either get like the super fan who actually has a following that's interested in the thing, and that makes logical sense because obviously then you have a higher percentage of people interested in the thing, targeted marketing in essence.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if the companies aren't looking at like the people like I Show Speed and these other influencers and thinking, hold on, these people have an audience so uncritical that they consume anything that's put in front of them, regardless of any connection to the content creator.
Oh.
Like they just view the content creator as like a TV screen to play shit on.
Yeah, consume. Even the chat was saying consume, and it's true. But it's, I don't know. I just find it so gross. I see all these Instagram influencers are so fake, and yeah, it drives me nuts. The end.
The end. Thanks, Blabs.
You're welcome.
All right, let's go ahead and move on. But before we do, Wasp came in with the $20 Rumble rant. Says, most iconic COD clip of all time, in my opinion, is FaZe Jev's Requies moment in the OG Modern Warfare days. Look it up. It's hilarious. Okay, we'll look it up here in just a minute. Let me see if I can do that. While Blabs read Bullet Shepherd's super, please.
Bullet Shepherd says, which is correct. Zendaya ruined the character of Chani. Is that how you say it in Dune? Casting deserves to be war crime. Is that correct, Arch? Chani?
Yeah, and it definitely was a war crime.
Yeah. See, I was actually thinking about that before too with Zendaya and how she's a Mary Jane, but she's not. She's Michelle Jones Watson, so it kind of gets away with it in Spider-Man, but not really because it's like a giant slap in the face to fans. But she's not actually Mary Jane. And maybe that's why Sadie Sink has been cast as a ginger. She's either going to be Jean or the real Mary Jane in the upcoming Spider-Man. Yeah.
I don't like so, because, again, Mary Jane is a huge part of Spider-Man's story, like a major part. And to either not have one with Black not Mary Jane, or have her be, I don't even know how to describe her.
Introduced into the fourth movie. If it is Sadie, coming in, Sadie Sink from Stranger Things, the ginger chick. Yeah, if they bring her in, it'll be really weird. If she is Mary Jane, it's like, oh, the fourth movie, here I am. It's like, where were you for the last 3 movies? We had discount.
Plus, that too doesn't work with Mary Jane's character, because then she would be introduced to basically steal Peter away from not Mary Jane, which is not
and
how
then
Mary Jane works.
Zendaya. Yeah, they're all gonna be like, you shit all over Zendaya's character, man. You took her away. Yeah, wild.
You got that clip pulled up from Wasp. I've never seen this before, so let's see how this goes. There could be some naughty language, but we'll find out.
Yay!
How about 4?
Oh, I'm flat.
A little bit. I just spit a little bit.
Oh my fucking god! Dude, why is it that when I flash somebody, it's like I just slapped them in the face with a fucking napkin from a little kid's birthday party? But when I get fucking flashed, it's like some big brolic black dude named fucking Raquise pulls a fucking pension over the head of my head and just proceeds to fuck me!
Shout out Raquise.
Spawn dies. 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 Spawn dies.
Ah, the days of being able to say naughty words on the internet.
Oh, that's pretty fucking funny, dude. We've all been there.
Raquise emote.
for Raquise, let's go. Oh, that's funny. Marmalin came in with the 10 for Raquise. Says, you mean actual corn, not the stuff people say to censor porn, right? Yes, I mean it's an actual corn festival. Yes. And Marius came in with the 70 Raquise monies. Says hardcore fans would be too opinionated and they can't risk public criticism, so they settle for malleable generic fans instead.
Yeah, that just take
Good
up
point.
all the slop and never criticize anything, and everything is perfect and wonderful, and everything just works. And it's like, no, it fucking doesn't. Let's have some criticism here. Let's be
Problem is,
adults.
though, again, those slop fans don't actually consume the product either. That's the issue.
No.
Like, you can get 1,000 slop influencers that will say it's great, and their slop audience will cheer like seals and then not watch the thing.
And I find them all to be very the same, right? They're all very generic. They all have the same stuff, like the same type of posts on social media. It's all the same theme, the vibe, if you will. It's like, you guys are so unoriginal, and yet you get paid all the big bucks. And I don't get it. I really don't understand Disney and Warner Brothers. Their minds are very stupid. Yeah.
All right, let's go and move on, Blabs. Thank you for that.
I'm ranting today. I hate social media.
Scooter says, I just started playing No Man's Sky over the weekend. I'm desperately trying to not give into my Factorio gameplay style of strip mining everything in sight, and act like the Imperium of Man from 40K and delete every Xeno I see. Thank you, Scooter. Appreciate that. Good luck with your endeavors in No Man's Sky. Appreciate that greatly. All right. Speaking of good luck with your endeavors, we said au revoir. See you later. Goodbye to Game Informer last year. This was kind of interesting news that came down back in August of 2024. Game Informer was very quickly shut down, and GameStop, the local Arch GameStop, is the retailer here in the United States, and Game Informer was the magazine that it ran, and it kind of came out of the blue. They got shut down, and fast forward to yesterday, where out of the blue, Game Informer announced they're back. It says Game Informer is back. The entire team is returning and can't wait to reconnect. Please come join us as we celebrate the best in games, the people who make games, and the people who play games from around the world. Let's check out their trailer real fast.
We've got some big news to share today. Game Informer is back, and so is 100% of the team that was bringing you Game Informer when we shut down this past summer.
That means production, design, video, editorial, everybody.
Everything you loved about Game Informer before is coming back, but we're rethinking it and evolving it to be bigger and better.
Game Informer has been around since 1991, and yes, we were blipped out of existence for a couple months here, but we're back, and I'm really excited to pick up where we left off and ramp things up to be even better.
Of course, we were devastated when Game Informer shut down this past summer because we loved working together as a team. But the thing that came as a shock was the outpouring of support and enthusiasm that came from you as readers and from people around the industry for what Game Informer had meant to them. I personally received messages from people who talked about growing up reading Game Informer and being excited about getting that magazine in their mailbox every month and what that meant for them. And we felt that that meant something and that it was something that was worth trying to fight for and preserve. So that's what we did.
If you unfollowed us on all our platforms like YouTube or Blue Sky or Instagram, I don't blame you. We disappeared. But we have the keys back to all those accounts. They're active again. So go hit those follow buttons.
All of that is coming back, including an all-new approach to Game Informer magazine, both in print and digital forms.
The short version is that Gunzilla Games purchased Game Informer. Game Informer now operates under an independent entity called Game Informer Inc.
Editorial independence has been foundational for Game Informer ever since it was started back in the 90s, and it will continue to be a sacred element of our operation going forward.
All of Game Informer's editorial content is 100% selected by our editorial team without any outside influence, including from the new owners. In fact, that editorial integrity is something the new owners insisted upon as strongly as we did. Our team today considers ourselves stewards of this legacy of Game Informer that has been built up over 30 plus years. I myself have had the good fortune to work with dozens of talented individuals who've come through over the 20 years I've been with the company and see the way that they have shaped and defined what Game Informer is all about.
Stay tuned in the coming months for more information about the relaunch of our physical magazine. But in the meantime, you can go to GameInformer.com right now and catch up on a ton of reviews of games that came out while we were shut down.
It's belated, but you can find our 2024 Game of the Year awards on GameInformer.com right now. We didn't want this little gap in Game Informer history to mean that we didn't celebrate the year of 2024, and we also just really missed arguing with each other.
We can't wait to bring Game Informer magazine back into your hands, hopefully bigger and better than it was before, and continue delivering some of the best coverage of games, the people who make games, and the people who play games from all around the world. More robust membership and subscription offers are on the way in the coming weeks, but if you'd like to support Game Informer right now, you can sign up for early benefits today.
Thank you so much for watching this video.
All right, so there you go. I thought it was actually a really good video, really strong video that they addressed the the fact that they went back and did their Game Award show from 2024, went back and they have reviews for games that were released while they were gone. They kind of did the backlog of things. I think it's great that they're back, if I'm being honest. Do I think that they'll last long? We'll see how that goes. I saw this tweet from this is the senior video editor at Game Informer, saying that Game Informer is back and the entire team has returned under new ownership. That's fine. This is interesting here. We've all received significant raises and many of us long overdue promotions. I'm now senior video editor. I'm so happy to be back. I think that's really great. But why? Why did you get a raise after being fired for 6 months? I don't, I think wouldn't they be happy with just coming back and having their jobs initially? It clearly wasn't profitable. I mean, Arch, you know a little bit about business. If your business isn't profitable, can it sustain?
Depends on how much money you're willing to borrow, I guess, and who's dumb enough to give it to you. But the thing is, like, print media has not been profitable for a very, very long time, no matter how storied and old your brand you have. Like, even this was like, what, 3, 4, 5 people? You need quite a lot of money to pay that amount of salaries.
Yeah.
And they're going to be making that off, I presume, some digital content, some YouTube videos, etc. They're going to need to be pulling in like millions of views a month, millions and millions, to have a chance to pay this.
Speaking of their YouTube channel, I'm just curious because their Game Informer has 740,000 subscribers on it. Just kind of taking a quick glance at their viewership here, over here on YouTube in particular, because we all know that's where everything is. They have some hits, they have some misses, a lot of gameplay stuff, popular videos, 5.6. So this is looking back. This is trailers. A lot of it's trailers and interviews and things like that. So, I think it's great that they're back. Now, they mentioned this company called Gunzilla. I've never heard of this company before, but they felt like this is a good investment. So, players first and foremost, love that. We believe in our people. Commitment to engagement and quality. Make bold moves and innovate, and open and honest. I think those are all really great company pillars. So we'll see what happens here. A lot of white dudes working at Gunzilla, which, the one thing I saw with this initial tweet from Game Informer was like, are you going to be woke? And like, I don't think Game Informer was ever really woke. Maybe I'm wrong, but I always felt like they did a pretty good job of keeping all the nonsense out of their coverage.
I mean, it all sounded good, honestly. I don't know much about them, so I can't speak, but I'm just looking at the YouTube channel now, and I'm like, this is, there is no way in hell this is feeding 5 people.
I think it's probably more than 5, but yeah, I hear you on that. This is going to be, they're definitely going to have some sort of subscription model built in. So yeah. We'll see what happens, I guess, obviously. And maybe a year and a half, maybe, hopefully, before they're like, we can't make money from this. That's ultimately how it's going to be, but we'll see. Hopefully there's a groundswell of support and they see the support that they need. Like I said, I don't like to see anybody lose their jobs. I don't. So
now, interestingly, do we know if they have a Twitter account?
Yes, they do have a Twitter account. They have an
there it is.
Yep, Game Informer. Yep.
Yeah. So that one's doing very good, fairly good numbers. That's something, because they mentioned Blue Sky, and I am always a little bit wary when anybody mentions Blue Sky, because that's kind of like the Tumblr of the current year. But they're on Twitter too, so.
So they put this teaser out, and then like I didn't hear anything about this, maybe because I wasn't following. They released this last week, so they've known this was coming for a little bit. I mean. It has 1 million views over on X. That's great. Good for them. I think that's wonderful. Like I said, I don't like to see anybody lose their jobs. So hopefully they can hold on to it for a while, and we'll see. Ruddy says a new sugar daddy won't change Game Informer woke identity. Are they super woke? Because I don't know. If I'm being totally honest, Game Informer for me was something that I read in passing. I kept like on the back of my toilet and would read. Like when you went to the restroom. It was just like a magazine that you saw. It wasn't something that I like looked at for coverage or anything. But I don't know. Maybe they are. Bentley came up and says the Modern Warfare video reminded me of the Onyxia World of Warcraft video. You should look up Onyxia wipe animation for a good laugh. Thank you, Bentley. And Sam came in as with the 10, and Sam got us there. Arch, he got us there. Oh. Our wonderful Montez suplex, our Montez slam. You got 8 picks. Do you have? Do you need a reminder of the 8 that you can choose from, Arch?
I do need, yeah.
Tetris, Street Fighter, Mike Tyson's Punch Out, Mortal Kombat, Duck Hunt, The Moon, Dustborn, and the Mushroom Kingdom.
Dustborn, definitely, because that's a good old-fashioned Norwegian entity, of course.
You got it.
You are racist.
Awesome.
A legendary Dustborn writing.
That's right. You are racist. All right. Well, guys, thank you very much for your support today. We genuinely appreciate it. Just a quick reminder that if you are supering 10 over here on YouTube, you can actually become a member of Side Scrollers Plus on a month-to-month basis. And once again, with the premiere of Nerd Duel tomorrow over on Plus, you can actually get a free month by using promo code DUEL over there. So get a free month of support over at Plus. If you're super in 10 over here, head over to Plus and become a supporter over there. We'd genuinely greatly appreciate it. Here's the thumbnail for tomorrow's episode of Nerd Duel: Smash versus Lady Des versus Eric from Yumi in the Movies. It's a great episode. So make sure you guys tune into that. That'll be immediately tomorrow after the show around, well, I'll say immediately. It'll be 2 o'clock Central Time after the show tomorrow. So, all right. We'll get to the rest of your supers here in just a minute, and we appreciate any and all and your Rumble rants and your supers and everywhere else. Thank you so much, Hidden Gem Gamers, for becoming a new member. Good to see you, Spaz. All right, let's talk about all the insanity that happened on X between Assassin's Creed, Elon Musk, Grummz, and Hasan Piker. If you had that on your bingo card for the day, I got to be honest, that was pretty silly. And it started with this initial tweet from Hasan Piker over on Blue Sky, which was interesting. He was paid to play Assassin's Creed Shadows once more. As you can see, it clearly says ad right there. And you see this all the time where influencers are paid.
I want to point out too.
Yes, sir.
This officially now means that Ubisoft is sponsoring a guy who is pro-terrorism.
We will get to that for sure. For sure. Grummz quote tweeted that, says you can tell a lot about Ubisoft with how much money they are throwing at terrorist platforming streamers, right?
Yep.
So that leads us to the response here from, if you notice at the bottom of the screen, I'll make it a little bit bigger here for you. Elon Musk chimes in, says Hasan is a fraud. Sellout would be more accurate. Objectively, he's promoting a terrible game just for the money.
Very socialist of him. Very.
This is true. Very socialist, yes. What was interesting about this was how Assassin's Creed responded, because they felt the need to chime in and give it up for their you have not seen this yet, Arch, have you?
No, I'm looking forward to the why terrorism is good take.
Well, this is quite interesting to see. So Elon talks here, and then if you recall, the controversy around Elon Musk not too long ago was about how he had a top character in Path of Exile 2, and it turned out it was leveled by somebody else. So Assassin's Creed chimes in and says, "Is this the guy? Is that what the guy playing your Path of Exile 2 account told you?" Right,
dude.
So
that's a brilliant response, though. Brilliant.
It is. And I think that's the thing that I really want to point out here as we go along and talk about this is like, look, you can appreciate a good burn when there's a good burn. And that's a fucking great burn, right? It really is. Grummz responded with Assassin's Creed Shadows isn't the hit Ubisoft desperately needs, analyst says. Kind of trying to clap back at Assassin's Creed here. Got 10,000 likes, but nothing in comparison to the 581,000 likes. And the 34 million views here. To which Assassin's Creed claps back at Grummz, saying, where is this? Right here. Our game is out. Which, obviously the controversy around Grummz is he has his game Ember, and he's, there's a Assassin's Creed clapping back there, right? With 10 million. Now, okay, let's stop there. So, Arch, I want to get your thoughts. Then we'll go to Blabs because, whatever. But Arch, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, the problem here is that both Elon and Grummz have massive weak spots that for some reason they elected to double down on again and again. Elon doubling down on his totally playing the Path of Exile accounts. Like, dude, you're the richest man in the world. You're trying to go to space. Nobody will be in lacking of understanding if you go like, yeah, I don't have time to level my Path of Exile account. I'm just going to pay somebody. Nobody would question that. Right. Grummz too is like he's been doubling down on his Ember game for a very long time now with the parody game, and he didn't take the joke. And it's like, just take the joke. It's not that hard. And it allows for sick burns like these because they've now got both very easy to exploit weak points. Even though, again, I think Elon Musk has a point here. Like, the fact that he paid the dude to level his Path of Exile account doesn't change the fact that Ubisoft is paying a dude who promotes terrorism. But
right. Well, the burn outweighs that at this point.
Yes.
Right. And
it's a snappier comeback.
Right. And I think that's probably the biggest thing here is, I was telling Blaz about this before the show. So a little bit of a side story here. Back in my early 20s, I worked for Coca-Cola. And when I worked for Coke, we did this integration down at spring break. It was on the beach. There was a big stage, and like 5,000 college kids are there on the beach, and they're watching what you're doing on stage. We had bands. We'd also, and I was like an MC, right? Like a master of ceremonies, not like a rapper, right? But a guy who'd keep things flowing on stage, right? And while I was on stage, I tripped. Right? I tripped and I fell, and everybody laughed. Everybody laughed at me, and I knew that I tripped. They knew I tripped. So you can do one of two things. You can either acknowledge it and move on, or you can pretend like it never happened, and then everybody sees it and you look like a fool. That's what I think is happening right here, right?
Yes.
Is like, dude, the best thing that Grummz could have said right here is sick burn. Right? Like, that's it. Sick burn, you got me. And then just everybody moves on and everyone stops laughing. But by doubling and tripling and quadrupling down of like, no. Like, he's the one with the shovel right now. So like, just like, if you let your pride go and just be like, yeah, I fucked up, or hey, that was good, then everybody moves on and everybody stops laughing, right? Yeah. But instead you continue to be the punching bag in this right here. So
and again, like that, the only reason why the Ember controversy is still a thing is because he has refused to do that, refused to just take it and go like, yeah, it's taking way too long. I'm sorry, etc. Same with Elon Musk too. Like, again, nobody will look at the world's richest man who's going to space and go like, no, you have to level your own account.
Right. And I think, look, he runs $6 billion companies and all this stuff, right? Like, nobody would be like, nobody seriously thought Elon Musk was spending that much time leveling up his character. Like 0% of people, unless you're just incredibly gullible, right? But yeah, between Elon and Grummz right here, like, just take the L. Just take it and just own it. And it's okay. And everybody will move on. Now, this has given a lot of fuel to, like the Grummz haters. Look, like Grummz, well, he doesn't want to come on our show anymore because Blabs is very critical of us, or critical of him. And, it is what it is, right?
Blabs, you evil woman. What did
I
you do?
know, holding a man accountable on the internet. I'm terrible.
Okay, so I think Blabs and I have had this conversation
Oh, yeah.
at least a half dozen times, right? For me, I see Grummz as a consolidator of information. I think he does a very good job of that online. And I have no problem with crediting him as a source because I think he hits the vast majority of time. Now, do I think Grummz spends way too much time online tweeting about things? Yes, I do. I think that, you know, he absolutely should turn his attention to his game and focus on that. And maybe he is, but it's not one of those things where he's posting updates on it on a day-to-day basis, at least not on X, right? And we've had him on our show several times, and he's obviously welcome to come back at any time. But I think that there is a point where it would greatly benefit the perception of what he's doing by simply just being like, yeah, you're right. I do need to focus on my game a little bit more. That's been in development for X number of time or whatever, and just take the L and move on. Because I do think that what he does brings some value to, like, I can separate the two things. I can separate the idea that
He could be allegedly scamming people out of hundreds of thousands of dollars.
well, not hundreds of thousands of dollars.
No,
but,
he's raised over $500,000.
well, like I said, I think that my personal thoughts on Grummz is this. I think that he is a poor businessman who has put himself in a business situation.
He's deceitful.
Where he is, I don't think he's deceitful. I think
Yes.
I think he's unorganized. That's
No, he's actually lied about it.
I think that's worse. I think that's worse. I think
Which?
being unorganized can be, because if you're unorganized, you can be deceitful unknowingly. And I think that's, in my conversations with him, that's what I get from Grummz.
All right, can I ask you a question then?
Sure.
Do you find it lying that you would say on your Twitter bio that you are the CEO of a video game, but you're not actually, and it's been discovered and you wipe that from your bio?
I got to be honest. I don't, that's not that big of an issue to me. It's really not.
Lying about being the CEO of a company.
But hold on, Blabs. Who was the CEO?
He's his mother or something like that? His family member?
His dad. So it's not that big a deal. Like,
Well, it is.
That happens all the time where people they have titles in companies and they're just figurehead titles. That happens all the time. That's not,
No, to me, that's dishonest. If you're gonna raise money and you're gonna fund for a video game, you need to be as transparent as fuck. And lying about being even CEO right off the bat, like, bruh.
Blabs, I'm telling you, it happens in business every day in all industry ever. Like, there are figurehead titles in anything. There are chief marketing officers who don't do shit. There are CEOs who have that simply because it's easier for whatever reason, right? For a financial reason, or like I said, I'm not defending that. I'm just telling you I can understand the logic behind it, right? As somebody who started multiple businesses, I understand the logic behind it. But
I'm disagreeing with you on this one.
and that's fine. That's fine. Like I said, for me, you frame it as deceitful. I frame it as unorganized, and I think there's truth possibly in both. Neither of us truly know. Right.
Well, the thing is, he could actually just go and debunk everybody, right? How many videos have been made about Grummz, right?
Well,
and he just doesn't do it. Why is that?
But
you would get so many like appreciation, be like, yeah, fuck them. Here's what I got, and it's never happened.
Now, I will say this: he has gone on podcast, including our own, and answered questions about these very things. Right.
But they were like softball curves instead of actually showing like with the tax lane or whatever, bringing that up and explaining all that stuff, right? To me, I don't know. I just feel like he goes on people who like won't give him like the hard hidden questions, and he'll never come back on people who like will be like, hey, we have questions for you, and he just blocks them. That's how I see it.
I mean, he's literally been on our show, Blabs. You had opportunity.
No, but we knew nothing about him.
No, we've had him on several times, even when
when we asked him about like his old Ember stuff, which was the one time. The second time was just like him as a normal guest, right? We didn't talk to him about Ember.
I said, I'm not defending Grummz here, right, at all, right? I think that in this situation, like, I think his ego is getting in his way.
Oh, I agree with that. And like, I want to point out that I agreed with a couple of things he's said, right? I'm not like, everything he says is moronic. No. I can agree with him and disagree on all of his policies and stuff, like how he handles his video games. I agree with that, sure. But no, overall, I think he's honestly a hack. And I'll quote, oh no, it's Alex here. I think he actually does a disservice to, this side of the sphere where he like gets facts wrongs and things like that. So, yeah. Just my point.
So I think that's fair. But I think all sides of whatever sphere you're on will get facts wrong. But I think that the vast majority of the time, he is fairly reliable in that he consolidates. Now, in the stuff that he consolidates. Now, with that said, once again, when Twitter got monetized, I think that's when the flip, and I don't know this for sure, but I'm just speaking from
an incentive. Yeah, make money easy. Yeah, I can get that.
And that would be really interesting if somebody went back and they looked at, so, okay, we'll have a very interesting bar. When I'm paid for this viral tweet from this past week that had 11 million views, that pretty much took up all my viewership and all, that I monetized, we'll be able to take that and we'll be able to see like what 10 million views is worth on X. Because I literally have no idea right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it'd be interesting to go back and look at like what Grummz's account looks like and over like the last month as far as total impressions, and to maybe get a ballpark figure potentially on like what he earns on a month-to-month basis on X. And that may be the driver for why he is so driven on X. Because my thought on this is that Elon Musk doesn't even know this shit's happening right now.
No, he doesn't.
This is like whatever, it's not even close.
I don't even know if he really knows who like Grummz is, just except for like his tweets, right? We don't know.
Yeah, it's a guy he followed because he made a funny comment or something sometime, right? But I think this is really, really in the like hit Grummz in the heart here, right? And it's okay to say you lost, in certain situations and take the L. And I think that's the best thing that he can do here. And
he should have just been like, oh, roast him. Instead, he kind of like doubled down, like, oh, look, here's another game that's beating you guys, which is true. Assassin's Creed, like everyone's retarded in this thing. I just want to point out, like, I'm not siding with Assassin's Creed on here. I think they need to vet who they have for ads and sponsors. I just think it's absolutely hilarious that we're in like this timeline where Assassin's Creed is trolling Elon and trolling Grummz. Like, gosh, where are we?
Well, I mean, but on the same side, Elon and Grummz and everybody else is trolling Assassin's Creed, us included, right? So like it's fair game. When you're on the internet, it's fair game. We always talk about how hard people wouldn't survive in the 2000s of online. Like fucking hey, dude, we're in the middle of people wouldn't survive on the internet. Like in 10 years ago, people were like, you wouldn't have survived on X in 2025, right? Like people are gonna say that shit, So yeah, but like you get hit in the mouth, you take it like a big boy, you pull up your pants and you move on, right? And I think that's the best thing that he can do. Arch, what are your thoughts on all this?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And that's kind of just the thing with the internet. You can survive pretty much anything so long as you just keep trucking. Pretty much literally anything. And Darkside Phil is still around.
Yes, it's been well established that Darkside Phil will well outlast everybody for sure. We know that for sure. But like,
a lot of that keep trucking though comes down to not having any sacred cows. And Elon and Grummz both have very large and very public sacred cows, which they do need to disassociate from, I think.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Look, I know the anti-Grummz sentiment out there is certainly growing. I think it all kind of depends on the perspective that you see from it. Like I said, I do think that he brings good things overall. Is it all great? No. But for me personally, Blabs, you're saying, you're calling it deceitful and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, not vetting news enough.
All I know from Grummz is his X account, right? I've not dug into I've seen all the Ember stuff and I get it. And once again, I do feel that he should 100% address that and take a step back from X and focus on that, right? 100%. And I think that if he did, I think he could knock out his game in 6 months, potentially.
Yeah, instead of 8 years.
Right.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
But I do think it's okay to be critical of him. I think he's done good things. I think that he's fucked up here. And it's okay to take the L on certain things. And it's important that, in the interest of being fair, that we and everybody else just kind of laughs at it. We're laughing at this the same way we'd be laughing at Mercante getting ratioed, right? It's the same fucking thing.
It's silly. It's funny.
It's silly, it's funny, and as I've said all along, we're gonna laugh at stupid shit that happens online. The correlation between the two is that both their egos are going to get in the way, and they won't let them apologize or say I took the and take that L. So it is what it is. So, any closing thoughts on that? Pez says Craig, just take the L. Okay. I mean, like I said, I'll take the L. If look, that's the interesting thing is like some of the chats can be like Blabs with the W, Craig with the L, and some of the chat can be like Craig with the W, Blabs with the L. There's nuance on Craig's side. There's no nuance on Blab's side. Whatever. Like, whatever. We're not telling you how you should feel. This goes back to what we just talked about 20 minutes ago. I'm never going to tell you guys how you should feel about something. I'm never going to tell Blabs how she should feel about something. And that's why our conversations about this have become so heated, because there are times where I feel like Blabs is telling me how I should feel about a certain topic, which I don't take that shit from anybody, right? It like, you should feel this way about this. Fuck you. I don't care who you are. I'm going to let you make your own decision. I'm going to make my own decision, right? So, if you feel this way about Grummz, fucking A, cool. If you feel this way about Grummz, fucking A, cool. I don't care. As long as you done the research that you want to do about it and you feel the way you do, awesome, But I think we can all agree in this situation, you should just take the L. So.
Well, can I just, before we put a pin in it, let me just ask you something, if you think Grummz is for free speech or not.
I don't know. I guess. I don't know. I haven't really asked him that question.
Well, no, just based off everything you've seen from him.
I don't know. What's that have to do with this conversation?
No, I'm just asking you.
I guess. I don't know.
Okay. It's just a question.
Was this like a gotcha or something that you wanted to
Definitely
have?
not a gotcha. It's just more me asking you your thoughts on it, if you think he's free speech or not.
I guess. Like I said, I don't know. I'm not Grummz. I don't know. It's
okay.
Yeah. So. All right. Arch, you want to close with anything on that?
I like pancakes.
That a boy. Hey, take the L, Arch. Waffles are king. All right.
Waffles are pretty good too. It's true.
Yeah, I hear that.
I like stuffed pancakes the best, actually.
I don't know. That's wrong.
You put like a stuffed pancake. You can put jam in it, or cheese, or cold cuts. Dude, it's fantastic. It's German, I think.
No. Out in the cold with you immediately.
Oh, okay.
Multi came in with the 10, says, hail Craigs and Blabberino. Point of discussion. If we're fighting for physical media and Game Informer is being true to gamers, wouldn't we encourage this move? Yeah, yes. Like I said, I don't want to see anybody fail, but I'm also realistic about the situation.
I'm entirely on board with encouraging them. I just think they'll die in 6 months.
Correct. Leftman on name became a brand new Plus member. Let's stinking go. Hell yes. Once again, use promo code DUEL. That's DUEL to get a free month of Plus. Really appreciate that. Hidden Gem Gamer says, shameless plug. The site that I write for is called PSX Extreme. We are very open-minded when it comes to politics. I can't speak for anyone else, but I am anti-woke. We look forward to being a sponsor of the Real Game Awards. Yeah, more news on that coming very, very soon. We got a big decision for a lot of our voting members. Mr. Personality says, here's some money because the mountain monkey is on. All right. Give it up for the mountain monkey.
That's me.
Ian came in with the 10, says, Ubisoft is the only company in existence where the social media manager is the smartest employee. Love it. Marius says, Craig's rapper name is MC Stutter. Soon as Soul Silver came in with the 10, says, there's a reason why humility is very rare, and there's too much pride speaking out, spreading on social media. Sometimes taking the L is the best move and move on. Karma has a way to bite back. Yes.
Yep. And hey, to do what we do, you have to have a certain amount of ego. And that can often get in the way of this, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Maddie says, Elon should log off once in a while. He's right about Hasan Piker, though. Lord Botha says, why don't you bring upper echelon Treasure Dragons or McDizzle on to talk about the Ember situation, seeing they made expose videos? Because I just don't care. I just don't care enough, right? That's what their channels can do. And once again, we're kind of shifting away from that, so, whatever. Chris says, Grummz is the real dev and OG Blizzard from when they lived in the Miyamoto ethos of delaying until the game is eventually ready. Ubisoft bragging they re-released a brand-ruining game is for PR-addled normies.
A little bit. I mean, Assassin's Creed is not a good game, so.
Hypnotic and Rapture says game developers like Mark Kern and Tim Schafer are not cut out to be businessmen. They need to hire experienced corporate men for funding and marketing. I think that's exactly my point when it comes to this, and that's exactly how I feel about Grummz, just from my observations. Nora says I despise Shadow a lot. Critique is fair and should be encouraged, but Grummz being a heckler puts him in the wrong, in my opinion. Let the game fail on its own. Grummz doing what he did is just childish. Right. And it's fair to call that out. It really is. And on top of that, I think they've done the exact opposite of what they wanted to do. You know, we talk about the effect of talking about something. Like you've seen so many people go in and say, well, because this happened, I'm going to go buy Assassin's Creed Shadows now. Right. And they may or may not, but it has inserted in, you know, I'm going to go buy this because of it. So, you know, Grummz is talking about how much of a failure this was going to be. We've talked about how this is going to underperform. Well, you're defeating your purpose here by doubling and tripling and quadrupling down over and over and over again. So what's that called? The Streisand effect, right? It's very much. I feel like it's
you mean like they're basically giving more attention to the game?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. You can see responses from folks as well. This is from Maximilian, dude, big fighting game streamer, just going, damn. Quote.
It was a brutal roast. Whoever that guy is, like, give that Assassin's Creed guy a raise, because like he's actually phenomenal at his job. Like, what a roast! Like, it got people talking about the game and everything. Like,
yeah, look at this.
He's
right
good.
I was gonna wait for a sale, but nah, y'all have earned this, right? Like, this is 93,000 likes.
Wow,
93,000 likes. You know, Mudahar, best response I've seen on this app, right? Legendary drops. I don't like Assassin's Creed Shadows, Ubisoft, or Hasan for that matter. And even I can appreciate a well-executed clapback. Elon walked right into that shit. I think that's totally fucking fair, you know? Like, hell yes. Like, at a certain point, you just got to applaud and be like, they won, you know?
I mean, he should have simply just responded by saying, no, Ethan Klein told me that.
But yeah. Quick look, though, at Assassin's Creed Shadows as far as the player base right now. It's at 35,000, peaked at 38. It doesn't look like it's seen a huge spike in players at all, at least from a live player number. But it's still top 5 seller right now over on Steam. So I guess we'll see.
Top 5 sellers in the end of March, though.
Good
Again, Veilguard was a commercial flop with, I think, was it 86,000 concurrent?
Yes.
So
I think that Ubisoft is being honest about their numbers? Absolutely.
2 million people.
No, not at all. I think once we get some hard numbers, that'll be very interesting to see. You know, we talked about many times the idea that there's a big difference between players and actual sales. So, you know, that's a new thing in the last couple of years that's happened with subscription services and such. So definitely looking to see what that looks like. To put a pin in this, Assassin's Creed Shadows devs have released a statement thanking fans for their heartwarming support despite the backlash. Blabs, did you want to read this statement from the Assassin's Creed folks?
Yeah, alrighty then. Okay. Can you make it a little bit bigger?
No.
Okay. Never mind that. All right. So, can you or no? Okay, perfect. All right. Hello, everyone. This weekend, many of us on the dev team spent time reading your reactions across the Assassin's Creed subreddit, and we just want to say thank you. The sheer amount of love and positivity we've received has been incredibly heartwarming. We came across this post in particular. Beep. And it really moved us. Seeing your excitement, your thoughtful reactions, and your joy has meant the world to us. After years of hard work, there's nothing more rewarding than watching the community connect with what we've created. While we don't reply directly, please know we're listening. The entire dev team has been reading your posts, the celebrations, the feedback, the theories, and it's been inspiring. It fuels us, and it helps us keep improving. Thank you for being part of this journey with us. This is just the beginning for Shadows, and we're thrilled to see the game evolve with you by our side. Where other men blindly follow the truth, remember, nothing is true. The Assassin's Creed Shadows dev team.
You know, they did actually quote tweet the this is the one thing where like they are borderline political in a major way. They did quote tweet the Elon tweet with this as well, that exact same quote that you had. This is Assassin's Creed when they're quote tweeting Elon Musk here, the Elon Musk clapback with that exact quote right here. So fairly political right there.
You think so? I actually just saw it as a quote tweet because that original response was a reply, right? So it wouldn't really show up on their timeline. That's how I saw it. Like they were just trying to boost it with like a quote and a photo.
Oh no, I thought it was definitely.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but I can see why you see it, but that's not how I saw it at first.
Different perspectives on things. It's amazing how that works out, right? Yeah. All right, we got some supers to get to today, and we appreciate y'all's support. We appreciate the discussion. You know, like I said, it's I always love having these discussions, whether we agree or don't agree. I think that's the fun part of doing this show and having different perspectives on things. Before we get to our supers, I'd like to remind you guys once again, tomorrow we have the premiere of Nerd Duel available exclusively on Plus. It'll be available on YouTube next week, but the premiere tomorrow at 2 o'clock Central. You can try Side Scrollers Plus for free by using promo code DUEL. So head over to sidescrollersplus.com, go to a monthly membership, and use promo code DUEL to get that free month. We would greatly appreciate that. As your support is paramount to what we have going on moving ahead. So we appreciate your support over there. You mean the movies? Kevin says Nerd Duel is awesome. Yes, we will see you tomorrow, friend, on the premiere episode. You can see You Mean the Movies right there. Look at that face right there. Wow.
The rage.
Right there. And soon we'll have Arch on this show as well. It's going to be good. Good stuff. All right. Let's get to some supers, guys. Once again, open up that tab, Side Scrollers Plus, promo code DUEL. What do we got, Blabs?
Okay, Fonduse's Virgin live action adaptation versus Chad anime adaptation. I don't know what this is in reaction to, but thank you. I have these. I don't know. Did we get these already?
No, we're over here on.
Okay, so StreamYards loves me. All right, I hereby declare I like the 90s Super Mario Brothers movie. Everybody walk like the dinosaur. Walk the dinosaur.
Like
okay.
the dinosaur. Yep.
Grusim says Castlevania showed that activists are now running the adaptation business. I want to see Belmonts fighting vampires, not racism, bad preaching. Brown says, yesterday I saw this YouTuber called Dash BQ roast a Japanese historian that was praising Assassin's Creed Shadows. It was hilarious. Interesting. Gold says BattleTech is supposed to be humans and mechs versus humans and mechs. The point is that there's no aliens or monsters, just human conflicts. Jelani says, actually, Craig, it's pronounced jib like turkey. Oh, like gib like turkey giblets. Okay, I have extra words I paid, so pee pee poo poo.
Let's go. Thank you
for making me read that. Keyrock says she had to be box office poison at this point. If Zegler has any brains, doubtful, she will go do Broadway for a few years. Maybe then she can get cast again in Hollywood. She actually is going back to Broadway now, isn't she? Wasn't she cast? That's what I heard.
That's
Jonathan says, Arch, since BattleTech is becoming grimdark, how much for you to do Power Wash Simulator for BattleTech, since it is your favorite game of all time?
Knowing the damage that BattleTech and Power Wash Simulator in particular does to my mind, that's going to be like $5,000. I'm sorry, it almost broke me the first time. No.
Mercenary says Disney will never turn around, going ludicrous speed straight into the agenda at all costs. Those people are totally captured ideologically. Mercenary also says, still upset what happened to Blaine Pardo.
Yep, Blaine Pardo. Like BattleTech is an explicitly political company right now, or Catalyst Games Lab to be correct. They fired Blaine Pardo on the word of a proven liar. So good job with that.
Soul Services, bro, got that bling bling to do the shill. Clint says, we are not out of the woke media. Black Snape. That's so true, bro. Oh, and I went down a rabbit hole. I'm pretty sure Neville Longbottom is going to be race swapped to be a black kid. Anyway. Beta says, if I ever get to visit America, I want to see true America, the small towns, and seeing their culture and their lives. Mastagawa says, media in the China's collective West propaganda prepping you for the war USA will wage. Taiwan is a governed exile the USA doesn't officially acknowledge. Hug Me Rudy says, no nerd duel for me until I see drug testing, Craig.
Yes, everybody has to take a drug test before they appear because it's such an intense show. But I will say
physical.
This. I'll say this. We recorded 2 episodes yesterday for Nerd Duel. The people who were on Nerd Duel, before we started, you could tell like the competitive juices started flowing like immediately. As soon as they all got in the room, they're like, oh, fuck. Like, it's time to go. It was so fun. So fun.
Nice. Dylan says, Hamas Piker is friends with a rebel who may or may not exist anymore. Interviewed him and said he was like Luffy from One Piece.
He did do that.
TBHFSR, whoever at Assassin's Creed TwitX does a great job distancing away from the Shadows mess and defining the middle ground between Hamas, Muskie, and Grummz. Mighty says, yes, Ubi, your black man killing Asian simulator is out all right. What's next? Assassin's Creed New York City subway pushings? Listen, nobody bother with Shadows. Go play Yasuke Simulator. You will have a great time. And it's like $5. Worth the money. Mercenary says, these are hidden messages in Elon game footage. Right. And before I forget, Arch, tell Blabs she's fired.
Blabs, you're fired.
Thank you. Not really sure. Thanks, Mercenary. Mercenary also says, you may not care about the culture, but the culture of cares about you. We can't escape it. Until things are squared away, we can't quit. And Marius says, Ubisoft probably counts every pronoun as a person, which is how they make up the numbers.
Thanks, Ubisoft.
We're caught up, I think.
Switzerland came in and says, Blabs very right. Craig's very wrong. $1 for the eye-opening fact. Thank you so much, Switzerland. Delta came in and says, like I said earlier, and to Blabs, give that man a raise. More than likely, by the next 2 quarters, to the team will be laid off, and the PR agent there will be looking for another job. Not a gotcha. They could sell 12 million copies, and it'll happen. Thank you, Delta. Hinge and Gamers came in with the 5, says, if I were to equate Assassin's Creed Shadows to a person, it would be a retarded hooker. Since it's nice to look at and fun to play with for a little while, but when you try to engage in it, anything too enthralling is only response. Okay. But when you try to engage with it, anything too enthralling, its only response is to drool all over you.
Next.
Oh my God. All right. No post show today. We're at the 2-hour mark. We will head over to and do our post show definitely tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, pretty special show. Labs, why don't you fill everybody in on what's happening tomorrow?
All right, so Carolyn is returning, but also for the very first time ever, Jennifer Say will be joining us. Now, if you don't know who Jennifer Say is, she is the one who created it recently in the last year or so, the XXXY brand, like the clothing company. She was fired from Levi's like years ago, and now she's coming on tomorrow, and she's going to be talking to us, and I'm actually super excited for this. I think Jennifer and Cara have a lot in common because, they are both canceled for their opinions. They both have gotten started all over again. They're making like careers for themselves. Like it's pretty awesome stuff. So I'm very excited for tomorrow.
This is tomorrow is all about like this is what she does. The founder and CEO of XXXY. It's about biological women more than anything else. Which the fact that you have to say biological women is a thing. And but she is leading this, and we're gonna have Jennifer on the show tomorrow to kind of talk about that, and we're gonna kind of fill her in on some of the insanity, because that's the thing, a lot of people from the outside, they have no idea what's happening inside the video game space. So if there's a story from the last year, I'm talking about like the Dragon Age Veilguard trans scars and all the insanity that's going on there and the mental illness that takes place in this industry. It's always eye-opening to see people's responses when you talk to them about this. They're like, I had no idea this was happening. And I think that's going to be one of the situations tomorrow when we have Jennifer on. So make sure you guys tune in for that. It's going to be a different show. It's going to be an interesting show. So make sure you guys get in early at 11 a.m. Central Time. If you guys have any questions, make sure you guys pop in. Yeah. Mid says, bring Riley on. I would love to have Riley on. Riley Gaines. That'd be great. But all right. Hey. One thing before we go, I just want to point out, Arch had a spectacular video the other day that I want you guys to go watch. It's over on his channel. I was so like, it was so, I don't know. It was about the show Adolescence. It was from 2 days ago. It has 35,000 views right now. I would love for you guys to go over and check out this video in particular. This one right here. I watched it and was like, whoa, he nails it. And I'm sure you've heard about this show Adolescence. It's really, really popular right now. Arch, why don't you give everybody like a quick rundown on that real fast?
Well, Adolescence intends to be a show showing, as the creators themselves stated, it's supposed to be a show about boys hating girls and why that's happening, how the manosphere is infecting young boys with hatred for girls. I think actually the show shows the exact opposite. I think it shows how feminism, which is the sole singular dominant force in society for a lot of European countries in particular, is actually the one thing destroying boys. Like, boys can't be boys anymore, and so they're confused. They're lashing out because they don't know what's going on, and feminism doesn't have any solutions for that.
Like I said, it was a really interesting video. Loved it. Just want to commend you on that, buddy. And
thank you very much.
Let you know how much I appreciated that. So go check out the Archcast channel. He's got a bunch of videos up there right now. He said 4 videos in the last 2 days. Look at that. Blowing and going. You got lots of things to talk about, which is great. Guys, do us a favor. Hit the thumbs up button on your way out. Once again, no post show today. We'll be back at it tomorrow. We have Jennifer Say on the show with Carolyn. It's going to be great. Open up a new tab right now. Head over to Side Scrollers Plus. If you want an annual membership, use promo code PLUS, get a discount for the entire year, or use promo code DUAL, and you can hop into the shallow end and work your way to a monthly membership over there with a free month using promo code DUAL. You guys have a great rest of your day. Remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.